Welcome to this edition of the Board Governance Series. I'm Laura Finn, Digital Media Editor with NYSE Governance Services. And today I'm happy to have Jeffrey Powell back in the studio with me. Jeff, welcome back.
Thanks, Laura. It's great to be here again.
Now, the last time you were here, we had a good time, so I'm glad that you're back. And we're going to talk a little bit today about strategic planning. NYSE Governance Services and Spencer Stuart recently released our annual What Directors Think survey. You can get a copy of our magazine too. And one of the things that we discovered after talking with more than 500 directors is that predominantly directors think strategic planning is a major part of what they do as board members. But their agendas are so packed for board meetings that they don't always have enough time to talk strategic planning. So you have some tips to share, and I would love to hear them. I'm sure our viewers would too, about how board members can really prioritize strategic planning and make sure that they get it going on the agenda.
It is an interesting topic, and we've been talking about it. And the thing is, there's all of this added pressure on board members now to be involved in really the day-to-day strategic planning of an organization. And so a lot falls on the directors, but a certain amount falls on the companies too, putting the directors in position to be successful. So these are some basic steps. Having meetings planned out well in advance so board members can have them on their calendars, they know when they're going to be, they know where they're going to be. Also getting them the agendas in advance, and also trying to streamline the process of accessing materials and also clearing things out in between meetings or prior to meetings so that the meetings themselves can really focus on strategic issues, discussions, action plans, and not reviewing materials and not listening to presentations.
I think getting organized is a really important one. It's not always easy to do, but it certainly is crucial for boards to manage their time effectively.
Absolutely. Organization is a big part of it, and you can't just tell the directors, the board members, that they have to be organized. The company itself has to help them with the organization process.
So what else can the company do to help?
Well, I know this is going to come as a surprise to you, Laura, but one of the things that I would recommend is that the company should adopt the use of an electronic board portal.
Well, of course you would say that.
Well, of course I would. And it's not just being self-serving saying that, although I guess it is self-serving, but it's also because this is one of the key ways in which you can give board members quicker access to more materials and better materials. Now, sometimes people worry that board members, directors are being overwhelmed with documentation. And of course you have to be aware of that, but we find that most directors want the option of having access to not only the materials that they're required to review, but also materials that might help them drill down on specific topics or broaden their knowledge base. The board portal can also help you in between meetings with some of these tasks that might need to be taken care of. For example, you can do voting. You can have electronic voting on items. Maybe not the highest level items, but things that you might need to get out of the way, whether or not it's board members signing off on minutes or certain resolution or consent items. You can take care of these things in between meetings, in advance of meetings, or if something comes up that needs to be addressed, it can be addressed with the portal. So electronic voting is an increasingly big part of using an electronic board portal, but also things like surveys, questionnaires, getting feedback from your board members. So the electronic board portal is not just a one-way street. It's not just the company sending information to the board members. It's also giving the directors the ability to communicate with the company in advance of meetings and in between meetings.
All right, I'll give it to you, Jeff. You make some valid points there.
Thanks, Laura.
So there's another way that the boards can focus on strategic planning. So what is your third tip?
The third tip is really taking advantage of committees. Most companies know that they need to have committees, an audit committee, a finance committee, nominating committee, but also these are ways that they can streamline the process for the board as well. Not every board member needs to be involved in every issue that's being addressed. Also, each board member may not have the appropriate skills or experience, for example, for being on the audit committee or the risk assessment committee or compliance, whatever it might be. So you have these subsets of your directors who are on committees who are able to address specific issues with the people with the appropriate expertise and experience, and then report back to the board. This also helps to eliminate the huge volume of materials that a board member might be expected to address if everyone is receiving access to all materials. This way you segment it out with the committees, and the committee chair reports back to the board on whatever the recommendations or findings are. And also, just to add on to that, it's very important in the process of planning for a board meeting and having a board meeting to not leave strategic planning to the end.
Absolutely.
To not have it just be something that you address at the end of the meeting when everybody's tired, everybody's worn out, everybody's ready for it to be over. It has to be an ongoing process, addressed in advance, addressed at the beginning of the meeting, and really have everyone understand that strategic planning is a focus of the meeting.
So, in order to prioritize strategic planning, boards should get organized, use a portal, and use their committees effectively.
That's very well said, Laura.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for coming back today and sharing your wisdom with us once again.
It's great to be here, as always.
And thank you very much for watching this edition of the Board Governance Series.